Sis guy, he a visionary.
We've got some new developments tonight involving yet another twist in this ongoing YSL RICO case. We're talking about a Fulton County Sheriff's deputy arrested earlier today and accused of trying to smuggle contraband to a defendant in the case. This deputy, Akiba Stanley, in this mugshot here, in the past hour, the Fulton County Sheriff announced she has been fired. And we have learned she was previously fired from the Atlanta Police Department when an investigation found she was unfit to serve as an officer. 11 Alive's Natasha Givens joining us now live in studio tonight. And in the past few hours, we received the arrest warrant for Stanley. So, Natasha, what is going on here?
Well, there's a lot to unpack, Jennifer. The deputy is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Christian Eppinger by communicating with him on Instagram, visiting his cell, and trying to smuggle items to him. Now, you may recall Eppinger is accused of shooting an Atlanta police officer last year. He remains behind bars tonight, and the deputy is too. Akiba Stanley took an oath to serve and protect, but officials say her track record as an officer is now criminal. Her arrest warrants detail her having an inappropriate relationship with an inmate, visiting his cell, communicating with an inmate through Instagram, and trying to smuggle contraband to Christian Eppinger from one of his relatives. Eppinger is accused of shooting a veteran Atlanta police officer several times last year while he was being taken into custody. He's also a defendant in the YSL RICO case awaiting trial. Stanley's charges include a violation of oath of office, reckless conduct, and conspiracy to commit a felony. But this isn't the first time her conduct as an officer has been questioned. According to state records, Stanley started working for the Atlanta Police Department back in 2016. But during a 30-day period, she received several complaints. Some are outlined in this investigation obtained by 11 Alive. It states her actions during traffic stops made her unfit to be an officer. The investigation also found other officers complained about her behavior. She was terminated from APD back in 2018. Post-certification records also show Stanley was ordered to complete a 6-month ethics and professionalism course at her own expense back in 2020. She then began working at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office last October. And in a statement late this afternoon, the Fulton County Sheriff announced Stanley has in fact been fired, and he calls her actions reckless and put the lives of others in danger. Faith?
Latasha, thank you so much for bringing us that report.
Man, oh man, oh man. Now, on Friday, the judge basically came out and was like, we gonna rule it the way we gonna do it. Let's get into it. Exclusive, baby. Young Slime Life case. Judge allows search of defense attorney's laptop. Let's get into it. Atlanta. Law enforcement will be allowed to search the laptop of a defense attorney in the high-profile Young Slime Life gang case. The judge presiding over the trial ruled Friday. Eric Johnson, the attorney whose laptop was seized by Fulton County deputies in the middle of jury selection earlier this year, sought to have a search warrant suppressed and his laptop returned. Instead, Chief Judge Earl Glanville determined the sheriff's office had sufficient probable cause to request a warrant for the device because deputies suspected Johnson allowed his client to use the laptop to communicate on Instagram. Johnson, who represents one of 28 people charged in last year's sprawling racketeering indictment against Atlanta rapper Young Thug and others, called the laptop seizure a complete violation of the most sacred relationship in our criminal justice system, that of attorney-client privilege. His attorney, Denoris Hurd, argued the search warrant was void because it was based largely on information the state obtained through an earlier warrant that was ultimately deemed to be improper. Brandon Delfont, a Gwinnett County prosecutor assigned to the case, conceded the first warrant was invalid because it was issued by a magistrate court judge. Deputies went through Johnson's computer after seizing it and took photographs and screenshots, he said, but he maintained none of that information was used in the application for the second warrant. Defendants have been using their attorneys' computers since jury selection began in January, but they're supposed to only review the evidence ahead of trial. You told counsel they can use it for the review of electronic discovery, not that they can use it as an electronic communications device, Delfont told the judge. The day after his computer was taken, Johnson filed a protective order to prevent the laptop from being searched further. In June, Glanville served Eppinger's case, bringing the number of defendants set to stand trial together to 8. The judge also assigned attorney Allegra Lawrence Hardy to serve as a special master. In that role, she will oversee the search of Johnson's computer and set guidelines since the laptop likely contains sensitive attorney-client information. That could include information and evidence pertaining to the other defendants in the case. Warrants accused Eppinger using social media platform to communicate with a courthouse deputy with whom he had an alleged romantic relationship. Fulton County Deputy Akiba Stanley was fired and arrested 2 days after Johnson's laptop was taken. Warrants contend she talked with Eppinger inside and outside of court, and that she knew he had a contraband cell phone in jail. She is also accused of visiting Eppinger's cell and conspiring with one of his relatives to deliver prohibited items. The sheriff's office said Stanley was charged with conspiracy to commit a felony, hindering the apprehension or punishment of a criminal, reckless conduct, and violating her oath of office. She was released last month on $70,000 bond, records show.
You could be anything in this world that you want, except for my downfall.
Atlanta ladies, listen, just call my phone. That's 911-0024.
Baby, it's an emergency. I'm calling.
Yeah. But on a serious note, bro, it can't be a drought for men like that for y'all out there in Atlanta. I refuse that y'all had to settle for niggas that's about to do life sentences in jail. That's number one. Number two, bruh, Bris, what the hell? But I mean, let's be fair. All right, gloves off. Cuz looking at life, and it looked like damn sure he about to get life. You know what I'm saying? And so, since it looked like Cuz about to get life, you might as well try to figure out the best way you can beat it. So I ain't really mad at Cuz. My more concerning effort is the female police officer. Bruh, what the hell? I don't know. But as far as dude doing all that, y'all talking, some of y'all might say, man, he hurt Thug case. No, his case has been severed, which means Bris's trial will not run with Thugs and them trial as far as the RICO goes. So there's that. Also, at the same time, the same token, what is he supposed to do? And I'm not sticking up for Cuz and nothing like that. I don't know dude, ain't never heard of dude or nothing like that. And according to everything else, I really wouldn't want to meet the nigga anyways. But y'all really can't get mad at that. But I would more so caution y'all to kind of look at it like this. In your efforts of trying to escape everything, you probably should be trying to escape everything. So hitting up a female guard and all that, or a female intake officer, sheriff officer, I mean, she was a cop. So there's that part, bruh. You have to. You got to do your due diligence. But for me, the attorney is the one, bruh, who has to basically fall on the sword for this one, because you shouldn't allow a nigga to set you up. Now, he may say, I had no idea and all that and everything like that. And then some of y'all will say, well, if he had no idea, why is he fighting for his laptop and everything like that? Because you can't trust the police. You can't trust the police. They're basically, from how I read it, how I perceived it, and y'all can disagree with it, it's basically trying to make sure that they don't get their hands on the other files that pertains to other cases and stuff like that due to attorney-client privilege. But also at the same time, you can't just capitulate to the police anyways. You just can't. You can't just allow the police to do whatever they want, even though you are an attorney. You have to fight that. I wouldn't care what happened. Y'all got to go through the means of that. So in one instance, the attorney's being thorough. The second instance, he has to make sure that his other clients are not going to get in trouble. Now, it's very possible the attorney knew nothing about any of this crap and Bris just did it because Bris don't care. Understood. And they're really just going to the files that pertain to Bris talking to the cop and everything like that and trying to make sure they wrap up their case. More than likely. But I don't trust the damn police at all. And neither should y'all. And neither should he. And neither should the damn judge. But judge is an officer of the court, so it is what it is. But y'all let me know your thoughts on this one. Do y'all believe that the judge should have just said, you know what, it's cool. Go ahead and search the laptop without any restrictions because they did put somebody there that's going to oversee it? Or do y'all feel like Bris shouldn't even did this? Why put himself in that situation? All he's going to do is ultimately hurt his case because of this, because of that. Or do y'all feel like I feel? Nigga done anyway, so it don't hurt to try to add on a little paprika to this to try to see if you can ultimately beat it, because if something might help you to get reduced time and stuff like that, bro, you might as well try it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You get caught in court and then they basically say you can't use this anymore and all discovery you have has to be on paper? At least you can say you tried.
What's really hood when I'm through the hood? Nothing be said, we got it overstood. The team fed, yeah, it's really good. Put that on everything, bro, you're never good. What's really hood when I'm through the hood? Nothing be said, we got it overstood.